How can you make smarter decisions? With Whoop, the wearable health and fitness.
Hey Chad, hey bro, Tiof. Yeah, man, things are going well. What am I up to today? So today I need to fix a load of problems with the not a load of problems with the advanced locomotion. Basically, where it's getting detected in correct areas, but in some areas that I don't necessarily want it to get picked up. And it's theoretically, in terms of like the logic and collision and geometry, is actually correct, but it's a bit like the case in it, right? I need just more specificity in terms of this scenario in which it's actually being called and detected and whatnot. So going to work on that. Let me just sorry. How's the push? Yeah, so working on that, make fixes where is there. Then I want to quickly just redo this advanced locomotion, how I structure it, because I want to change how I resize my capsules. So yeah, I want to change how I resize my capsules because I'm not a big fan. I do a lot of yeah, a lot of capsule resizing. Well, yeah, when I say re capsule resizing, so like when you squeeze through gaps and stuff, I change the size of the capsule and all that stuff. But I rely on external things to return the capsule back to its new state, which is always dangerous. So I'm basically just gonna walk around, assess the behavior of this stuff here. It's like, I mean, first thing already, this trace is far too wide, right? Like I'm looking at the left and right wall hits, and immediately I'm like, it's too wide. Straight. That's the first issue I'm noticing. So let's change that. Um, so this squeeze here, yeah, squeeze max width. Let's squeeze minimum here. Um, oh no, so we say, so yeah, these traces here. Uh, so I'm going a meter right or left. That means that's 2 meters range, which is completely wrong. What I actually will do, if I do, let's just get the normal capital radius, right? So I only really want to check ahead or in me the size of the radius, right? If the squeeze gap is anything less than the radius, I don't ever want to change the capsule or squeeze, right? Like if you can squeeze in something bigger than your actual capsule radius, you should just be able to run through it. So that should hopefully eliminate the squeeze being triggered in like bigger size gaps. Let's see here, let's just assess what this looks like. That's better. I mean, will it get picked up if I walk through? You know, that's interesting. So it is detecting a squeeze now. One reason why I think that's probably the case is I do think that when I detect my left wall, right, here I can, so I do interesting. So the reason why I do this, we're at the 0.5, right? So what this means is basically does is if the normal of the wall I hit is greater than, and the dot product of my right vector is somewhat in the same direction, I might be wanting to, I might want to squeeze on the left wall, right? I might make this a slightly more robust so that I don't pick up tighter edges of walls. Like the wall has to kind of be going like that to be squeezing, which I think might be quite more beneficial. 0.9 is a bit wild. Let's leave it at 0.5 for now. Let's sort out the distance stuff. This is all just a lot. And then squeeze max width, right? So first of all, this is wrong because what I do here is I trace from the impact point of the left wall. I move it out a certain distance, right, on the normal of the left hip. So I've got my left wall here. I trace out from this point a minimum distance. So if the wall ends collides at any point in there, I don't care about that. So I move it out a minimum distance. I then trace out to the maximum distance, right? But this squeeze max width should be squeeze max width minus squeeze min width, right? Because this minimum width is the minimum amount. The maximum is like how big of a squeeze you can have. So that's the first thing. So that should be minus squeeze min width. If I'm gonna do it this way, right? If I'm gonna do it this way, and basically avoid having to have an additional check of distance, right? If I do it this way. So let me assess these values. See, yeah, a meter seems wild. That's just too big. A meter is too big. It's too big because you can squeeze through it. I think something like, if I do something like, what's the capsule radius? 35 is an average. So capsule diameter is about 70. If we do something like, if we do 70, which is the capsule radius, like so. Let's do, you know what, for now, I want to debug the, I want to live code, I don't want it to rebuild, so if I just do, normal capsule. It's gonna get messy a bit, but I'm fine with that. Let's do that. This is really messy. I'm not a big fan of this logic at the moment. Hey
Um, I just checked in a partial fix for. Uh, well, it was for something completely unrelated, but I think it will fix partially the capsule going up the stairs. Can you sync in main? It's only code changes, no data or anything. Sorry, in dev, and let me know if that works.
Yeah, I'll grab that in a sec.
You guys are live on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, sure.
Hello, YouTube.
Yo, yo, yo. Oh, God, that hate's going down those stairs. Just focus.
So,
Okay, that's all sorted.
okay, so here I do use a min, right?
That's that
So
little section.
here I
Sort
use
it
a
out as well.
min.
The start bit. Oh yeah, the one.
Yeah, I've broken up in sections and then done the simplified measure as theirs.
Nice. Yeah, if you try any cat pass over, over that fence and then going in the water, it should be
Yeah,
like okay. Yeah, and yeah.
and I've done it over the wall onto the stairs as well, and it's like, yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah, so when the capsule goes like a fin one, that is the that I should in theory have fixed with the version that you are getting from there.
Do one of you want to share your screen so I can put it on the side as well, so they have some context as to some of the stuff you're saying as well.
I will do in a minute. I'm just syncing to Devin now, so I have to close Unreal.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I'll share it once it's open again.
When we have a proper office, I would like to have like every day we do like a live stream for for the whole day of working, and we have multiple.
Have like a stream room. People take shifts.
Yeah, something
For like
like
2 hours and then stuff like that.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Let's find a place that the squeeze fucks up in.
That'd be better for the streams as well, because it'd all be on the same system, so it'd be like very consistent quality stream.
Yeah.
Which is
That
nice.
is-
Since I'm here, I might as well sync that stair set into Dev anyway.
So one of the issues I was having was the corners of stuff. Shit like this is extremely problematic at the moment.
Stuff
Oh,
like
David,
that.
if you can sync on dev, I may have fixed some of those issues when it goes like when the capsule goes to like 24 size when you're because I was fixing something else, and I think I might have fixed that problem there.
I've done those.
That's an interesting case that I'm seeing. I know that I'm 30 seconds delayed, but I'm seeing you're
yeah.
stuck on the edge of the pole.
But you still kind of don't want it to happen.
Two things here. It's actually pretty correct.
But you almost want it to know that there's no way out the other side, so don't bother trying.
Yeah, but then it's also like it's weird because it's correct, like it's correctly wrong, but it's correct. Like like it, because like theoretically, if you could like there, right, it changes the capsule radius, so you can actually walk. You can actually
mean,
squeeze around it. Like
So
it's quite.
So anywhere we have a lamppost, why not just move it a little bit further away from the wall? So
Yeah,
it's
like we
like
can do either way, right? We can move it further away or do like. What's interesting is that is correct. Like,
yeah, but no, I don't mean move it so far that you don't squeeze. I mean
oh
move
yeah,
it
like simplify it.
so
Yeah,
that
100%.
you squeeze around it and you do like a
Yeah.
little U.
Well, so the funny thing, that wasn't even the case. I was trying to. The case was actually, yeah, definitely. This can just be moved like there, right? And then now it should still. I dropped the squeeze detection massively. But it doesn't do it. See there, right? When it gets in that corner,
Oh,
there. Why is it?
wow, you can see the moon so clearly. I don't know. Do you know, anytime I can see the moon in the daytime, it reminds me of the film Treasure Planet when I was a kid. I fucking love that film.
What is it detecting? Because it's causing the capsule.
I wonder if anyone will react to the checking name as well. Let's go have a look. Oh, I need to show screen.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm only gonna debug. Let's ignore the ground traces for now. Let's just squeeze first. So
Well, Dado, it would
Looking
appear
back again.
the capsule size isn't changing, but it's still not liking the gradient on the stairs.
Yeah. No, that's all good.
Oh, okay.
I will fix that next. Yeah. The most important thing, yeah, it doesn't do the do thing.
Oh, then yeah, no, we're good.
And even at the beginning, you know when you do that small step at the beginning, that curve, and just go a little bit backward. There is a curve.
Oh, from the road.
Yeah, from the road. Yeah. There, you see, that is like it doesn't change the capsule, so it's
Oh, nice.
no better. But yeah, I need now to fix the other thing. Because now, ironically, it doesn't change the capsule, but it detects that you're slowing down. And I mean, you should slow down running up the stairs, like your mom would say, but yeah, not quite that much.
Oh, dude, Mr. Robot's such a good show. I watched the hell out of that. I finally got around to watching it. I was like, yeah, I'll give one episode a go. And then I'd finished the show in like 2.5 days or something. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I've done all the rail collisions now. So all of these bars underneath have no collision. And the main bar that goes over the top is just a single box that comes straight down. For, I believe, all of the rails. I'm going to keep an eye out in case I've missed one or two. But
Yeah.
should all be done. Right. The next thing I want to deal with that is really, really pissing me off is that the static meshes don't reflect in the water. The sky and the sun and everything don't get occluded by the static meshes, and the static meshes aren't reflecting. And it's really, now I've noticed it, it's driving me fucking insane.
Oh, there was a bug on Lumens 5.03. Like refraction and reflections for that matter are complete broken, I think. I
Reflections in
think they fixed it
general?
in 5.1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but do we really
lumens
want
has got broken reflection in 5.3.
we don't really want to change engine right before we're pushing for
Yeah.
release.
No, I'll
No.
break everything.
Yeah, no, it changes
So
ultimately.
let's only debug this. So when it goes into a squeeze, only debugging the additive wall, the normal wall check. Okay. What's this corner here?
Oh,
Look
RCA
up
say they
one.
fixed it in 5.1.
And it looks and it doesn't find any.
Yeah, I heard about that. I have actually 5.1 installed, but I don't even want to try to run the project. I just
Right, okay. But so I just done a really quick, like I just put a different material on the plane,
Mhm.
and the reflections are all working correctly.
Does the sun get occluded when you go down?
Yeah, yeah. Look. And the static meshes
Ah.
have been staying and everything. So it was whatever that water material we were using was doing. Something in it was making things all fuckety wuckety.
Yeah,
Because
but
I've just
they
basically made a
definitely
square.
fix. I think they fix ray trace reflection or refraction. I don't remember, but they fixed something in 5.1 for sure. I saw the
I'm
I saw
inclined to say it might be
the change
refraction
mode.
then, because that other
It might
water
be not
material we
exactly
had,
the same thing, but they fixed something around
well, that other
that.
water material we had was quite complicated, so it might have been the refraction stuff that was.
Yeah, it was specifically I think refraction on RTX devices.
Some very sus behavior going on. This is when it walks into this. Doesn't
So
pick
I
it
have to
up.
say that that material shader, that water shader that you had there, it was rather nice.
It was. It just once you notice the reflections, it becomes.
Yeah, you can go back.
Yeah. Because there was always something just a little bit off about it, and I couldn't work out what it was. And then once I realized it, I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? What's up, Doctor Noma?
Okay, so one thing that I'm seeing that's very, very weird is it should never really be. Yeah, the fact it's tracing that on the outside.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself and keep grinding on the on that scaling thing, and I catch you guys when I fixed it. So
On the flip
maybe
side,
never.
This is very wrong. But it shouldn't, because obviously it's not going to hit. Oh, you know what it is? The left thing goes far enough forward that it then hits left on the thing. Let's be aggressive with this. with this double check. Be very aggressive with it. Be like it has to really be in a similar direction. Otherwise, you don't want to look at it. So
sorry, I'm just seeing messages. Is going up to 5.1 really going to be that different? I'd like to say no, but probably will break everything. Or it'll probably introduce more adjustments and fixes that need to be done. That there's no point introducing those problems right as we're crunching to release. It's just added work for no reason. Very little gain.
frame rate is dropping like fuck that.
Yeah, I've noticed that when I
Yeah,
like
it's
anytime it goes into a shimmy or a squeeze, it just bombs.
yeah. I mean, when you walk across a wall, the frame rate fucking bomb. Like now, the frame rate bombs
Is it the
massively.
traces? The amount of
Yeah,
traces?
for sure. But it's I need to know. Let me debug. I need to know what is, because it's definitely triggering additional trace. So interesting enough, this isn't one of these is not getting triggered. Let me see. Let me make sure that's true. Ah, okay. This is a big issue then. Let's enable this here. So one of these is getting picked up and causing it to. It's because then it's doing a whole load of another batch of traces, right? Which is what is there. That's what's bombing the frame rate. That trace batch. Okay, that's okay. That makes sense. If it's checking, are we gonna be in a squeeze? That makes sense as to why the frame rate is bombing, and it does it for both. And at one of those points, we are going to be in there. Okay, and that's why he's bombing the frame rate. So I should not be fucking doing that trace right now. There's no sense on doing it. Okay, at least now when you walk into a corner, it doesn't squeeze, shimmy, or balance. That's one fix. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we really gotta fix this bomb of frame rate. Now, obviously, it's because of the number of traces we're doing. We're doing it. It's really unoptimized. Obviously, these traces are going a bit crazy. But I think let's instead
Ah,
you know what? We said instead of doing all these fucking traces, we just do 3. Are we gonna have NFTs for this game where you get something no
probably
one else
not.
gets? No, man.
Probably not.
NFTs are dangerous games, man.
Oh, we were talking a while ago about this was months ago now. We were talking about this of doing like in-game event and competitions and stuff where you could
Yeah, for
win.
sure.
You could like earn and win limited edition or limited run, store branded items, things like that.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be like NFT stuff. It'd all be like in-game.
And it's earned, right? It's not like
Yeah,
a buy because one thing I don't think is healthy or like opens up a kind of worms is creating like players trading in-game stuff between themselves. Um, I think for any game that opens up a host of dangers. So like if you can trade like your skin for someone else's skin and stuff like that, because then you get scammers and all these different things. It just yeah, that the whole economy of that is quite complex. So unless you have a lot of resources to put towards that, like that, I just think it's an unnecessary
yeah, because
gamble.
you'd almost need like a team of people
Yeah, to moderate
moderating
and
it and
monitor
stuff,
it. Yeah, for
which
sure.
is
Like,
work.
and it always gets out of reach. Like, it always gets out of hand, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, you can get object scale. God, that makes this easier.
right. So I think if I do that, it kills that annoying thing. Hopefully,
Make
and then maybe then we can. But I don't want to. Quite techie that. Let's do this instead. Right? Let's do this. Try something out. Try save. because it's right. Like it's correct that it's doing these traces off of this wall, but that four is just time complexity and memory complexity that is huge. It's just very unperformant. Because you're running against the wall, so saying, "Oh, my, should I be squeezing at any point?" Which is correct. What I'm gonna do instead is for all of these fucking things, right? This for loop is the devil, dangerous as fuck. I'm gonna kill this bitch.
I'm a murder them.
Actually, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna kill it. Right. What I'm gonna do is
What? I don't think
um,
this works.
so if we start, so we know the trace that we do location trace direction times I, right? If I do trace, yeah, so it's like 0, right? What I'm gonna do, um, so if I just do something like this, right, that should give me some gaps between whatever shit I'm doing. So that's okay. So the frame rate no longer tanks, um, which just makes sense. You're doing less traces, right? It's more performant. Now, what I'm actually going to do is trace direction plus that, but I'm also gonna add. Actually, before I add this, I'm gonna add I'm gonna initialize like a bit of a thing. So times by, let's go minus, because I do 100, right? So before I go as far as 100, so I want to do minus. So back 1 meter, forward 1 meter, and then yeah. So then we need to do 200 on this. Obviously these will be values and whatnot. So back a meter, 20, 20, 20, 20, all the way to 100. And obviously we really should just do I as 1 to 5, and then just do that times by the truncated version of whatever we were doing. You saying Doctor Disrespect is scamming? I understand why you don't wanna. Why you don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole? Nah, NFTs, crypto. Nah, the digital currencies, right? Like in games work, but only if like you have to really, really like make it right. It's just otherwise it's just dangerous, and it's just for you and your user base. Like it's just, yeah, unless you can moderate and ensure, like, because you have to give something unique and give value to it, right? Like pictures, all that shit to me don't have no value. So beyond, like, especially not if anyone can access it, like you have to make a player feel like they have something of value. Doing shit like events, right, where we create a piece of clothing or create an item or something, and then we give that to a specific player. Um, that's all cool. That's unique or whatever. Like that can't be transferred among stuff. You have to win it, right? Or you have to do stuff, and then you can have it so that multiple people can win it, right? Like that's not an issue, but there's no transactional basis, right, between uh, other players for this item. Um, the second you start adding transactional basis, it starts to generate its own worth, and then people start paying extortionate amounts. And then, how is that done? How is the trade done? Is there some kind of way you can monitor like doing these trades? What if someone scams people? Like, it just becomes more increasingly difficult to manage that. Yeah, we hatch NFT eggs. Oh yeah, I only do the previous trace if I was in a squeeze. So what I'm gonna do quickly is just throw together two shitty walls. This might not even squeeze. Which and like fair enough. Like I don't think you should squeeze and sound like that. It's like it's squeeze should you should actually feel like you're squeezing right rather than squeezing just for the sake of squeezing. So if we do something like this, right, this you should squeeze through. Yeah, like see that capsule. I need to figure out the fuck does that. That's the next fix. So the one of the things where I was trying to get it so that you can't. So that you can enter as sort of like an angle. Yeah, I do have plans for that. The IK is really annoying. Um, I also want. So the thing is, I want a better animation because this one where he's like this, it doesn't with the IK on. It just don't look that good. I'll be deadly honest with you. Like it kind of just makes it feel like I prefer it without the IK on right now. Um, Especially because then you mirror sometimes, and then it's like, well, okay, which one am I doing? And then it's like da da da, and then here it just looks like you're just dragging your hand against it. It's quite techy, so I'm definitely gonna add that though, for sure. I need to fix why this capsule goes absolutely ape shit when it's just the player is shaking, and I need to why it's shaking. I need to figure that out. Pops up. But it doesn't do it every time, which is what's weird. So that's the next fix I need to. So okay, so cool. Okay, so I'm a lot happier with that. It picks up a lot of things, and it's I mean fair enough to it. It's pretty small as well. So if I come in at an angle like this, okay, you know like fairs, I don't mind that too much. Um, One of the things was trying to avoid it when it came in. Basically, when I come in at an angle, still allow it to squeeze in, which it does seemingly. Actually, it um does actually do it. Um, okay, that's a lot better. Um, okay, no more frame drop. Why the? It's tiny though. Is it okay? That's because of the falling. That is, I think, that is fixing that. There's no more frame drop, so it's slightly more performant traces.
Oh,
We only do like 5 traces now, so I mean that's nothing crazy. You check every certain gaps, and then we do the same going behind. You know, I mean, it's slightly better. It's better than definitely better than what it was. frame wise, so that won't tank anything. Cool. So one thing I need to do as well is that when the camera pulls it, so that to realign the when the camera realigns the that might be one fix I need to make. When the camera realigns the, because basically so for this version, right, the way you control when you're in squeeze and shimmy is you are stuck behind the character, and then you turn the camera to change the direction of movement. That will change. That is just for now. I want to do it so that squeeze and shimmy are part of motion matching. So the context will change. It will change the trait, and so it will start doing the motion matching for squeeze and shimmies. And that works same with trajectories and directions and stuff like that. That's quite techy to do, and you need a lot of data. We just don't have, right? Like you need to have gone out to record that motion capture data, knowing that this is what you're trying to do, and record tons of it, and we don't have that. So when we do, we'll look at incorporating it so you can control it just with the left stick and move the camera around how you want to. Because I don't like the camera dictating movement. Like to being your one singular source of turning. So yeah, like that. So for now, balancing, that's not the case. But for shimmies and squeezes, that is the case. But know that will change. We plan to change it. Okay, this is better. Now let's check out the balances and how that fucking thing's gonna behave. I don't get any weird. So when I go into the corner of shit, let's see here. See that capsule go into one, right? Okay, it picks up the squeeze at some point in there, but it doesn't do it for long enough to actually cause much discrepancy there. Nor does it like the capsule shrink is pretty like nothingness. So I'm actually alright with that. And when I go into the corner now of shit, see that is an issue. Why are you the fact that it balances there? That we need to sort out. Okay, so that's our next fix. Yeah, shimmies I can live with for now. We do a bit more thing on that. Again, we can definitely improve the way we do all this logic. That's what I want to do today as well. We fix the issues that we're having, and then, well, the other issue we have is the fucking shake on the shimmy, but I'll come to that last. And the squeezes, sorry. So squeezes, okay, doesn't kill frames anymore. Like if you walk along a wall, doesn't fuck up the frame rate, which is quite important. Okay, cool. So let's grab latest quickly. Quickly grab latest. Oh, too far. I don't really give a fuck about this change. What other one was it? It was. I'm actually gonna take in whatever changes everyone else did. Right, so I'm gonna check this in real quick. We'll just say these performance. So it's like so say performance increase. Let's squeeze. Fix this. I don't want to check this in. I don't want to check this in. Just want to check that in. Push that in. All right, cool. So now let's fire this back up. Um, what we're gonna do now, basically, is yeah. What we're gonna do now, basically, is balancing. Why the fuck am I balancing in that corner? Let's fix it. My chest is bare home. Like someone's just.
What? How did you sleep?
I didn't know. I slept calm. I did.
I sleep hard. I sleep so hard I break my chest.
I didn't even know, man. I'm certain I fractured it like 2 months ago in a match. I fractured because someone hit me with a handoff, right? And that shit just like I felt my chest concave, bro. I played through and it was calm, but I remember after the match thinking, "Yo, like my ribs, I must have fractured some kind of rib or some kind of like sternum or some shit. I don't even know, man.
God, it sounds so painful.
Yeah, need physical therapy. I need massage, man. That's what I need. A deep tissue. I went to a massage one time.
Sports physio.
God, it changed my life. It was so beautiful. I loved every second of it. It's just so pleasing to be around.
Yeah, like a
Just
relaxer massage. If you go to a spa,
yeah,
that's
that's why I
awesome.
went. Yeah.
That's relaxing
Oh yeah,
massage.
yeah, yeah. That's why I
Oh,
went. Deep tissue. Like, oh, you're talking about like sports. Hell, when I did that shit, bro,
that's
that shit almost killed me. I was in pain. The
yeah.
guy
I
was.
used to have one for my lower back because my back was all locked up, and they were doing the whole thing with the elbows where they break the muscle down and they basically
Yeah,
just
man.
people's elbow you over and over again.
Miserable, bro. Like it's miserable. See, there's some nice stuff like cupping and acupuncture. Peaceful, nice and peaceful. Even like little like when they stimulate your muscle with like a little put a little pad on you, just like small
Oh,
little
the
electric
tension.
shocks, ten stuff, and it's really nice. And then player game ready, where it's like an ice compression sleeve thing you put on. That's really, there's all nice stuff. And then he's like, all right, come here. I'm like, whoa, man. And he just starts unloading into you, and you're just like, help me. He's just there like digging in, using his thumbs, and you're just like, ah.
Yeah, dude, it's bad.
It's painful, very painful.
How how the fuck do gradients work in Unreal? How am I supposed to do that?
Clive's nailed it on the head. That is literally where every program ever starts. Hello world. Oh, true though. All right, let's. You disappear and you disappear and you disappear. You go in there. Spin you around. So now, if I walk into this corner, it doesn't squeeze. It bloody balances. Alright, let's figure out what's going on. So let's do ground hits. They're true. Because what I actually want to do is I want to move all these traces, right? All this logic into the trace manager. I don't like having all these line traces firing off because this function is just highly complicated for no reason. There's just too much going on. It's too big, and it's hella confusing. Um, and then I also want to do this. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do 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 do. Do, 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 dun, 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 dun. Mm. This is taking really long to build. Can it hurry up and build? Why is it taking so long to build? It's taking really long to build. Build. Hurry up, man. Ain't nobody got time for this. I wish YouTube let me just listen to my own music on stream and let it stream. Let me put
It'd
it
be
back
so
on.
much calmer, wouldn't it?
Put it if I go back. Stop.
Yeah, the problem is you fall asleep listening to lo-fi.
That's the saying. I just want vibes. You know, I also just want music I can sing my life to. Let's see this. So which one of you motherfuckers is getting picked up?
So,
Interessant. Oh, that is so specific.
why was that?
Oh, it's because it's inside of literally the trace right at the edge of the stupid thing is being picked up. But I know exactly how to fix this, right? It's a pretty simple fix. This is. And it's saying that trace there has no collision. Whoa, his foot is. Oh, it's the foot. Okay. Okay, I know how to fix that. That's pretty straightforward of a fix. We just check that there's nothing in the fucking way. Oh, we could do two. Ooh, techie. So. If I walk into this corner. Okay, so we can do two ways. We can just shoot out a nice little beautiful thing. All we can do is the capsule colliding at location. But I think the smarter way to do it is... Oh! When do I use this? Forward wall check. Check if in or going to be in squeezing. Forward wall check. Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. So I use this. I see. Yeah, that was my last ditch thing. So when you were turning around, it didn't come out squeezing or go into squeezing. Okay, that's quite important actually. So you can turn around in the squeeze. Beautiful. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use this lovely, and this is only initialized once, which is actually quite, doesn't do no for loop shit, which is nice. Perfect. All I gotta add here and bum, 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 bum. And I don't have a hit going forward. Although it's a bit long, isn't it? Oh, this needs to now be the hit going forward. This needs to be. Oh no, this because the squeeze distance is brought down, right? We can bring this down too. Well, the squeeze distance and the balance width are now aligned, so I can use. Well, they're not actually, but so I need to align them. I can use this beautiful thing here. Basically say. Yeah, I could use this bad boy here to say. If I want it a bit further forward, quite frankly, I don't just want it to be in a capsule. Let me just do this. 4 now. So it's like 70, so it's a lot less. Yeah. The syntax, isn't it? Because you can always look that up and learn it, right? It's just about knowing the process on how to achieve it, right? Once you like what you need to write down, that's flat, because that theoretically doesn't. When I say doesn't change, it's like the way to set a variable is the way to set a variable, right? It doesn't change. See, when you get closer, it stops doing it. It's because this isn't long enough. It isn't long enough. Let's do something like 5 or some shit. I know it's a bit crazy, but wasn't long enough. Oh, I know why it's not gonna make a difference. Because what if the wall is thinner than a certain height? Yeah, you motherfucker. Oh, that's so annoying. See, I take the location, but oh wait, the full hits is at the root. Oh no. Okay. Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna just change this as well. Alright, let's do this. Let's just do quickly. Const also root. The root position is gonna equal to character owner. Get bone world location. Root bone. Give me that. And then I'm gonna drop in the root position for that. And the root position for that. And the root position on that. This is gonna give me another problem, but for now, because basically I check waist high only right now, right? So I'm just gonna do a specific value for now so I can see this more with my 2 eyes. I check waist high, but that might not give me a hit, right? So now I check root high. No, I know there should be. There is. I had a lot of comments in like here. Like there is comments. Stuff like this though, I kind of know what it's doing. Like it is badish practice. I add comments sort of as and where I kind of personally need them myself. I should really add more, but there's so much. It makes the thing so long. Like I end up adding like extra 50 lines. Like if I added comments everywhere, I kind of just know what everything's doing because not many people see this code, and a lot of mine and Dada's code is aligned, so we kind of know. But for those watching, it is best practice to add comments. I just kind of add them verbosely when I kind of need to know the general logic. I try and do some pretty obvious, and then obviously I should add more, but like I kind of just I throw them in here and there. It's not the world's best practice, quite honest. I should do more. I really should, but it's just a bit long being like and change the thing here and then I'm like, but I actually change what I'm doing and then I don't do what I want to do, and it's like, oh. Cause that motherfucker ain't hitting. It's because, goddamn, the length of the thing is bigger than the length of what I'm tracing. How far forward do I do that goddamn trace? Did I live code? I think I live coded. I did. How far forward did I just trace? 200. No, he's right, definitely. He's right, definitely. I just really CBA like, like if I know what it does, like a line trace here, this here from the root position forward 100 meters, 100 centimeters. It's like a comment here is just useless. Like honestly, like just read the thing. You know what I mean? Stuff like this, it's like this. Like a lot of this stuff here doesn't even need comments. Like I add it as and where. Just stuff here. It's just so verbose, right? Like is in falling scenario. It's like I don't really need to say what that does, right? Get movement direction backwards, change the that makes sense. It's quite straightforward code, if I'm honest. But yeah, best practice is to add comments. Motherfucker, why did this motherfucker go so far forward? That bitch look like it go. If I do this out of curiosity, what's it gonna look like? What forward am I going? I'm tracing. So here. Yeah. 40, 60, 80. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that it's going that far forward. Oh. Oh, I'm so stupid. I only do this to the. I don't think sometimes. I only do this to the pelvis trace direction, not the stupid ass. Yeah, just do like a stupid ass. Alright. Okay, this is. I don't like this at all. Let's do this instead. I don't like this either, but now this is just redundant shite. I don't need this. These don't need to be parameters. This is done over and over again. It's repeated. If it's repeated, you know it's shit. But let's just get it working. Doing what I think it should be doing. Oh no, I left that thing at 200. Ooh, my frame dropped severely there. Yay! You know, it doesn't balance in the corner anymore. How lovely. Do we get shitty frames when I run across the wall? No. Yay. So much fun. Now if I climb up on this motherfucker. Oh, he fell off. You must be kidding me. I'm really torn between adding a guidance system to help you on balances and not doing one. Oh, the sounds sus with this falling. Anyway, okay, so that issue there is resolved. I need to see the fact that the capsule goes to 0. That's nothing to do with the advanced locomotion there, because nothing gets set. So that's a separate that I think is fixing that. Yeah, that's something else, because that is hit again here. Yeah, okay, I like that. Alright, cool. That seems like a pretty straightforward fix. Let's just make sure you can still balance. Okay. See, why the capsule shrinks there? It shouldn't do it. It shouldn't. It's to do with the falling is quite. Because the thing is, I know it shrinks to allow itself to fall. But it's just changing too much. Which is causing issues. It's quite temperamental. Okay, I like this a lot more. They're actually pretty. Oh, one issue with this that is gonna happen though is you can't balance on a slope. So I do this. You're not going to be able to balance on this. Yeah, I thought so. Damn. Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case. Okay, yeah. I think it's quite nice being able to balance on the slope. So okay, that's a pretty easy fix actually. What we need to do basically is for the balance. See, this is too many checks, right? It's a lot of checks, so it should just be a hand balance. Let me do that now actually. Yeah, I'm gonna add the check and then I'll add the can balance. So it's not necessarily. So it's this if there's no blocking here, or the forward wall hits drop impact normal dot product. That product with the. For now, let's just do. Alright, so no. vector is greater than 0.9. 0.9 might not be the world. Just do 0.5f. Alright, so basically what I'm saying here, right, is if so let's check in the two scenarios. The first scenario is against the wall. Yeah, you know, the physics, yeah, nice, okay, that works. The physics gets really complicated when you start looking at trying to preserve movement. So like so the difficult part, right, is you can either make it entirely physics based, and like then it becomes a little bit easier because like you just launch the character and then let physics take hold of the character, right? Or you can make it unrealistic and be like you can add impulses in air and all that stuff, whatever. Where it becomes tricky is when you want to try and preserve as much of the animation physics whilst also preserving the character physics. Like you want to switch between the two, then it becomes quite techie because the animation wants to do one thing, but the character capsule, it's about preserving that information to then carry on doing what the animation was doing after the animation is played. But then you want to pick a different animation to then do the physics. It's like, yeah, it's like some animations you're like, you do your physics thing, you control the thing, and then other animations is like, oh no, I want to control, but not what you're doing, just how you're moving, but on one axis. It gets there. Then it's when it gets a bit techier, because you can make it like, so you can sort of do it like skate, right, where it's very physics based. And when you jump, you just launch the character with a given velocity in a specific direction, right? So you just like press A, and the character, poop, right? So if you watch something like, if you play a game like, if you play Skate, or you've seen the parkour on Skate, you'll see when the character jumps, it just gets launched, like it just doop in a direction given the speed, whatever. Whereas with this, and with a lot of the animations, you want to preserve as much of that build in. Like what makes an animation look good is the build up to it, right? Like you feel like your character is doing a cat pass, like not necessarily because of the exact cat pass animation, but it's because of the 2 steps before he does a cat pass, he adjusts to do a cat pass. Preserving that can be quite tricky. All right, nice. You can do it on the slope. That was techie for me. Oh no. Alright, cool. So you can balance on slopes now. Mother trucker, dude. Nice. Okay, cool. Let's add a. Right, and I think shimmies. Oh no. Let's. Cool. Oh, it's just in the wrong place. Oh, it did have a. Yeah, that's where the difficulty comes in. Really, I found at least. Yeah. It's trying to make it feel like. So like, it's what do I put it? It's trying to make it feel like your character is just responding to the input and not just responding to the fact that it wants to play an animation. Yeah. So like, definitely, we want to add it so that when you launch up into the air, you can like, it's like really eventually you want to be able to like the falling is going to do some crazy stuff because Dad is working it. But you want to be able to jump, and then at the moment now it doesn't just like fall because you're super high up. It just ragdolls for now. But you want to be able to jump and be like, I want to grab that ledge, and then you grab the ledge, right? But it's like when you jump, there's no point in me doing it right now because it basically checks, like, because you can't do it. It just says, well, are you jumping over like a gigantic gap? If so, just ragdoll. So, but yeah, like it'll be like eventually be like jump, and then I'd input some kind of command to change my whatever reach or something into a grab thing. And so then, I mean, a way to do that would be you go into grab mode, right? When it's just physics based, you're just falling. And then if at any point your hands collide with something, add a physics constraint onto that, grab it and let the character swing, right? So then you can like hit swing and grab it. That'd be cool, you know. I could actually do that. That'd be sick.
Stop getting distracted with new systems.
No, I know. So, no, I'm not doing it now. Hell no. 0-11 for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like you might try it tonight. It'll be like 2 in the morning. You're like, yeah, but I could do that.
Nah. That's too much physics stuff. Way too much physics. When we get the falling down, right? When it falls properly with momentum and everything, it really will just open up all the possibilities like that.
It unlocks
so much. Like it will unlock everything.
And then once we get my master tier stick mechanic idea in.
Thing is though, like the sticks will be, I think, easier to implement than we think. Like it'll be very easy to do. It will literally just be a case of changing the landing. If we can separate the fall from, like, because the key is to separate the jump, the fall, and the land, all 3 different things, right? If we can get them to do all 3 different animations, right, then the precisions become quite easy. Then we just react to the input, right?
Then it's just
that's what I'm saying. But yeah, that's 0-11 talk. Okay, so balance cool.
That's 0.18 hotfix.
Balance cool. Thingy cool. Precision's got to be there. They're going to be there in update though. That'll be a lot of hype. Same with this grab. I mean, I want to do this jump and grab shit. That'll be cool. Okay, so that balance cool. Now shimmies. Shimmy. Where? Let me find a ledge to shimmy on.
Oh, I thought there was no player start. Fuck. Just spawn myself a million miles up in the air.
Shimmy. Where can I shimmy?
It's better.
Shimmy here. Motherfucker fell. That's kind of cool though. Like I know it's wrong because you collide with the thing and then it goes a bit crazy.
How do you even get onto that?
I just ignore that. But it's because I'm swallowing my character. I love the shimmies though. They're so much fun. They're really cool. Okay, so I think the shimmy with the simplified traces works really well. That works really well. That turning the corner that way. Nice, yo.
Oh man.
That works really well, actually. Hold on, let me do that one more time. If I keep it low when I come around the corner, it should hopefully turn. Oh, it fell off.
You know, I don't know how complicated the wall runs are going to be, to be fair. Because the systems you guys are setting up now are kind of like, they're the foundation systems that everything else runs off of. So all the stuff that seems really complicated would just be like a little addition on top of the solid ground you've already made.
Yeah. I think the thing with the wall run, right, that I think is going to be the most difficult part is really going to be the so yeah, that fall is just the last piece to pummel. Okay, shimmies are done. Okay, I'm gonna optimize all this shit now and just make it less mad. I think with the wall runs, the difficult part is gonna really be the entry and exit, and you also not being able to wall run forever, but like sort of feeling like because it's weird. You want it to feel like the way you come in and the way you come out are aligned, right? Like I think it'll be a case of like procedurally extending the length of the wall run, but then you can't really like, because it's weird. Like you almost want it's techie because you want to be able to like see how I need to run a meter across this bit, right, and then get onto the wall. And it and then it does the one that does a meter, right? Like that looks the realest thing, but it doesn't give you as much control to change that. So I think what you'd have to do is, yeah, like have an entry into a wall run, given a speed or whatever. Once you're on the wall, like have like a deceleration of your trajectory. So like just like naturally like you trajectory decels and then you come in, you're falling, whatever, gravity, all that shit. And then you have an input to exit off of the wall, and that just doesn't jump off a wall run. So you split it off into entry to wall run, and then you're on the wall, then you have your wall run loop while you stay on it, and then during your wall run loop you're decelerating, losing speed and also falling. And then when you exit off, you do whatever jump off and shit that you want to do. Or if you just land on a surface, you then just do a land that is a wall run exit. Like, it sounds doable, but I think it'll be techie than we think to make it really feel like if I'm just running across a meter gap, it just does the meter gap. Or if I'm running across a 10 meter gap and I can't make it, it feels really thing. Are we doing agile or waterfall? We are agile. Something like this, it has to be like we do. It's got your requirements change so much, right? So for anyone that doesn't know what agile or waterfall is, they're just like different software development methods. So waterfall is basically like you only use it when you have a very clear set of requirements. So you know exactly what your product or software is. You know the exact requirements it needs to meet, because you do your requirement stage. So you plan, you're planning a requirement stage, whatever. Plan what you need. What do I need to do? What does my product need to achieve? Blah blah blah. You then do your design phase. So design your product, all this stuff, and then you do your implementation phase where you make the product, and then your testing and evaluation. Agile, on the other hand, is you like shit can change a lot, right? And you do it like sprints, but like your requirements can change more. Like it's not just like you test and then you do your thing. Whereas agile is like do this and then you do this and then assess and do this and like testing and I guess really it's also like prototyping, right? Like we make a load of little versions and then see how it works, change it, tweak it, improve it. Then you make the next prototype based on the previous system and you do that. So I guess it's probably a mix of both. So if anyone make you thinking of doing a, like these days, I'd only ever recommend a waterfall approach. Like if you really really know what you're doing, like your product is gonna change, like it's not gonna change. Like so if you're making a, I don't fucking know, a candle, like you're not really gonna change much during the process of what you know. You will know what scent you want. You know this thing. You know what it should look like. You design it all, do it, go. Not much is going to change in the process, like piece of clothing, that kind of thing. Something like a game, it has to be iterative. Like you'll never be able to outline all your requirements at once, and they'll change throughout the entire process. So it has to be something like agile, or like it has to be an iterative development approach in order to actually be feasible. Okay, let me check this in because it's got some fixes. And then once I check this in, we're gonna start adding functions and parameterizing shit and doing all that shit. I won't check in any level changes, guns, because I'm seeing you working on that. So.
Right, so have you made any changes?
Nah, I just deleted some shit. That's fine. Advanced locomotion.
I can delete on my end as well.
It's just little benches, though. Don't worry about that. We can, when we go playtest, we'll delete it. Advanced locomotion. Balance fixes. Balance fixes. Wireless issues. No. There's still going to be a ton of problems. I already know. I need to walk around and see what. Once the falling is fixed, and the geometry is better, then we can really assess if there's any more issues. Well, it's better geometry. It's just we fix the geometry issues we have, then we can actually assess the problems. Let me. I know everyone gives so like Dado and thing use fork, right? They use git fork, so you can see the exact commits and everything. I just can't be arsed. It's just so simple. It's just so easy. Like I just go change, pull my branch, push my origin, call it a day. I should really use git fork. That's the one you use, isn't it, Guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should use git. Yeah, I should really use fork. Like if I'm totally honest.
It's a much nicer interface to look at, and it makes it a lot easier to sort of keep track of where you are and stuff. I think.
Yeah, especially for code changes as well. I really should use fork. That being said, though, this is just so pretty. It's just so easy. It's just like what's crazy is when I wrote like exclusively like code wise, I used the git, so I would like use actual like make like requests and pull requests and all that shit. But this we just have like kind of license over it. Like we have a fairly small team, right? So when there's like 30 of us, we're gonna have to start to be pretty strict about how we do whatever, and we can't just check in whatever code. But now when we can just like put shit, kill it, just take rid of it, get rid of that. This we know what we were working on. It's just like it's easier. So let's do a couple.
Apparently, my free trial of Visual Studio runs out today as well.
Rider, mate.
Yeah, but no, I had Rider before, and the license ran out.
Oh, I'm using my student one, aren't I? I'm using my student Rider.
I'm just burning through free trials.
I forgot because I renewed my student license of Rider right before literally in July when I graduated. I was like, renew. And then my email expired and I was like, I couldn't renew anymore. I was like, thank God. So I get it for a year, which means that this July I'm going to have a bit of an issue, but hopefully then
you could just put it
a mega multi-millionaire has bought the game and then we just say, I'm like, screw it.
Yeah, just put it on the Hits credit card.
Put it on the Hits credit card, yeah. Funny. Let's do it one by one. Let's move all this to a function. So let's go. This could be a private one.
That's
and I want to take in Interestingly. Left ground, right ground, and center ground, and forward ground.
One of these days, I will put a lerp in the right order. I'll put the A and B pins for the lerp in the correct place. Every time. It's like putting a fucking plug in the USB in. I just plug it in the wrong way around every time.
Get it right in the end. Ooh. I need to ask GPT how to make a parkour game. Oh, God, taking a load of hits. Alright, let's do it. How should I make a parkour game?
It's kind of cool, some of the stuff that ChatGPT can do. I was watching a video of it writing code, I think it was ChatGPT, writing Blender scripts.
Okay, stop. I love that. That's so cool.
It's annoyingly not wrong, even if it's super super reductive on what it's saying.
I hate how accurate this is. Look at it. What? Just so annoying. Everything it says here is widely accurate.
Yeah, but it's accurate in the way psychics are accurate.
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
tells you, like, yeah, it's like if you said like how to make a game, and yeah, it's like anyone with any knowledge of making a game could answer this, right? Like, um, what's funny is that it does exactly kind of capture the things we're trying to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is like you said, it is accurate in a way. A psychic is accurate. Like, you are experiencing hard times in your life. It's like, well, no shit, I'm not a psychic. Like, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, it just looks like just googling shit. Yeah, at this point, but it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. I can't lie. Just keep it in the second screen. Nobody needs to know you're you. Chat GPT. How do I make a light tracer? Oh, it's pretty cool though, man. I can't lie. It's just a big data set, isn't it? Really. It's pretty snazzy though. It's pretty useful. Definitely useful for some people, like, for sure. It's a way of refining your searching. If I could do that for you, I need more. What I might do is, rather than, is just have these traces saved, and then at least then I can access them without having to pass in a million parameters. But because I don't really like this. 7 different parameters passing. I mean, if I can just be like, it's what I would think would be cool, you know, if I do like can balance, right? That'd be snaz. Not can balance and then have 10 different things I pass in. What I think is what we should do is instead move you yeah. Okay. Literary codes in any language too is impressive. Let me see. Let's suss you out. what I could do is make all these variables, right? Use getter functions for them, but like use getter functions by reference, right? So that way I don't have to keep on, because then these are all. Alright, you know what, have it so that's working. Let me just do some big changes. Let's do some stuff. Let me do some interesting stuff. Do we do it in Trace Manager though? I think we should. But then the traces are kind of specific to the advanced locomotion. That's the thing. It's not like a generalized trace. It is hyper. These traces are hyper specific to advanced locomotion. I don't really want them accessed anywhere else, so I don't really think they should be held anywhere else. You know, for now, let's do that. Right. And then, yeah. You know, let's do that. And what we'll do is then in the close all this shit. Oh shit. Let's get rid of you. Right, we have all our thingies. Unless what I could do. What I could do, okay, if I do this guy here, right? Doesn't really need to be a U straps. Should I call it traces? I don't really want to make it a long old name. I don't want to make it like that. Let's call it trace data. All right. And then we'll say okay. Yeah, so then we say get trace data. We have our trace data struct. We then get a reference of it through this function, which means we can now change the z values. So then what I'll do is in my cam balance quickly delete all of you crappy stuff.
Do you reckon this water is going to make it past Dado?
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut. Do you reckon this water is going to make it past Dado?
Screen real quick. Looks quite good actually.
It's got none of the like depth and refraction stuff that the previous one had. But and obviously if you zoom out, you see the tiny shit. But it does mean that the reflections are correct.
So yeah, it's good. It's quite nice. I think it's alright. It's all the same colour. That's my main thing. I'm a simple man.
A little bit. It's a shame there's no like depth fade to it. Ew. Ew. Is that a hard line? Nice.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. There's a ton now. There's a ton of. I need to go to the gym in like 20 minutes. Guys,
Oh.
what time is it? 10 past. All right, come on. If I can quickly, I say we keep the stream going. I'm just gonna stream your screen, so we don't end the stream.
I was going to be going off soon, probably.
Oh, okay, then fairs. We're killed.
About
We're good
10,
at
20 minutes, probably.
Okay, that's cool then. See if Dada wants to hold down the fort. Nah, to be fair, that's what they wouldn't be able to eat or whatever. Okay, so then we say. Ooh. Yeah, because obviously this is by reference, right? So, well, this function takes in this whatever by reference. So if I give it a hit result, it will actually change the value of that. But so I don't actually necessarily need that. But the reason, yeah, I don't even need this. I can just do trace data dot forward wall hits because it takes it in by reference. Like if I did, that would work. But I don't know. That seems sus though. By reference. Sus. Yeah, so this should actually give me the actual. This will give me the actual value of the metrics of moments that you can actually pass in there and check this thing. Which allows me to change the trace data, which is cool. And then, which is nice because I can, although I don't need that because all the the only time I use these, all the line trace singles are all by reference, right? So I don't actually need to expose this by reference, and that way I can keep my bool function of cam balance const. Yeah. Although, like, what if I do want to change it? No, but then what if, when will I ever want to change it outside of a trace? I guess a reset. I might want to reset it to a null one. Or change the blocking hit. No, because then it's not aligned with the trace. If I do this real quick, sorry. This doesn't change. This will work, but yeah. Then I was right in the first place. Oh well, I could then just do like. Oh, I see, because it's one step, and so. Yeah, okay, that works. Because it's the actual variable reference, not. Yeah, because this doesn't return me. It returns a copy of that. Okay, yeah. If I want to do it that way, I do need this to be reference. So I return the actual value, right? Rather than. I think it would be nice to separate the two out. Just have that. Yeah, and have that trace data separate from just so you don't actually have to act on the variable. And I can put all these checks into their own thing as well later on. Same with all these traces. There must be a quicker way to do this fucking thing. This is so outside. The fact I have to do this tells you that there's a better way to do it. We'll do it one by one. So let's first tweak those first two ones. Then what I want to have is that we don't need to. All these checks are just single function things. So I just change it in one place and then I do the check across all the other ones. So it'd be like found wall and then I pass the ones like I do, right? So it'd be like found wall. But those checks will be in. I guess they are independent of the advanced locomotion manager, right? They're quite hyper specific checks given like variables held in the advanced locomotion manager. They're not really like generalized trace checks. Let's see if this works. This works. But it's not gonna work, but if it works, I'll go gym, come back and finish off the cleanup of that. Definitely gonna have an error.
Is the colour not done?
It's like this just looks ugly as fuck to me. You know what I mean? So I really don't like that. Also, I don't think we need this anymore because you can only check for this advanced locomotion. Yeah, you can only do this if you can take advanced locomotion, and you can only take this if you're not jumping. Oh, actually, hold on. Why update restricted movement mode? You're falling. Oh yeah, no, if you off, might see if by adding the is not falling to the bit above and see if it makes any differences. If it doesn't, then I can get rid of that if statement inside. I can get rid of this big old if statement inside here because this just seems like it's just an added line of deck for no reason. Oh no, because then if we are falling, we want to reset this. Yeah, if we start falling, we actually want to do that. Okay. I wondered why. There's a better way to do this. What I'll do is probably expose this, is do this, and then pass this by reference to a function that does the traces, and then return it. Yeah, and then just like there's a void function, do whatever I do to it, and then at the end just give it back the thing. Oh, okay. Alright, let's see what happens when I play. There will be, yeah. When I get back from gym, I'll probably just grab some food and then crack back on. Be another late one tonight. A lot to do. It's got like 10 minutes actually. All right. Oh, not good.
They've changed this for you if
Hurry up and play. Thing is, I really like the fact that you have to be somewhat like, okay, so hear me out. I like that you don't I like that it doesn't like help you get into these gaps, because it makes it feel okay. It's, although it can be more annoying, it really does make it feel like it's just part of locomotion, and like it adds that whole element of like you have to aim and target everything, like and
It's
you're
your
in.
hand, they're not being
Do you know what I mean? It's never, yeah, like exactly that. Yeah, you got it spot on. It's in your hands, and I anticipate, because I think these are going to be features that can help provide a skill gap, right? Like okay, well, if someone walks into there, right, you can run the risk of trying to sprint into the thing, but like in real life, if you try and sprint into a gap, right, you might overshoot it, and clip the wall, or do whatever. Do you know what I mean? And you might just miss it or
Well, like,
whatever if you
the Storror's holes video is a perfect example of that.
precision,
If you
right?
want to if you want to do a gap that small, that fast, you need to practice it, and get the route down and get your steps down. And it's like you can't just on the fly go like, yeah, I'm gonna go through this at 100 miles an
Yeah.
hour and not crack my head on the side of the wall.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like more of a feature, like more of just like part of general locomotion than just, especially like, and I also think especially if we're gonna plan on changing it to the motion matching, it will be really important then, because then it really feel like more of like of a feature than that fall is looking funky. Than a separate game, because I just don't want it to feel like a separate I don't want it to feel like a separate game mode. That is the primary thing with this system, that I really just want it to feel like part of the same locomotion system, and not that balance mode, or like in Tony Hawk when you grind and you're like, okay, I'm grinding now. It's like,
Oh yeah.
it's just sort of like, it's just is what it is. It's all like in racing games when you go into a drift, you don't ever feel like drift mode. It's just like, no, my car is drifting. Like, it's just a natural reaction because I did these things and it's reacting to it and it comes in and out of it fluidly. It's just, nice. I mean, I'm quite surprised it works really well. I mean, I'm not surprised at all because it's my logic. Duh. Obviously, guys. Cool. Alright, the new way of having that, because now I can do like can balance, can squeeze, and can squeeze can encapsulate all this stuff, can shimmy, and that'll kill, and then be like final check, and then that'll make this thing nice and small, blur, and less problems, less issues. And then we can look at moving all this stuff somewhere, so it's not all in there, but for now that's alright. Alright, we'll check this in. It behaves quite well, actually. Still need to fix the... I still need to fix the... Still need to fix quite a few things with the... I still need to fix that weird stutter. Tag is gonna be... Tag will be cool. So, but like the one thing that I think is really key, like you need to, when you have like competitive, because I think this is where Skate struggles, right? I think this is where I always thought Skate 3 lacked, is that there wasn't really like a skill gap, so to speak. Like the skill gap was very much like spammy, right? Who could spam the most, like a thing. But like I'd like it to be an actual skill gap of like general gameplay. Like you can look at someone beyond just being able to spam out tricks in a row, right? Like who is a better player than someone else? And like you'll be able to do that just by, okay, this person runs it into squeezes, right, and can balance quickly and just, you know, like all these things that is just general. You just do what they generally do better, right? Whereas with Skate, it was like Skate races, right? It was just kind of like anyone could win. Like, do you mean if you didn't mess up, basically, it wasn't like you're better at racing on a skateboard than me. It's like, well, you know, you just caught a slightly better line, and it was like, you know what I mean, it wasn't necessarily the best player would always win. Whereas I think it'd be cool to be like, okay, like, yeah, we're kind of at a point where you could generally tell, like, okay, this person is better because of how they approach the things they're doing, right? How quickly they climb, how risky they are in their movements. I think it'd be quite interesting to see.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting one. When it starts coming into, like, everyone gets to a certain level where they're all fairly technically skilled now, and then it's who's willing to take the bigger risks to get their time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a final little balance, and someone sprints onto it where the other person just walks, and it's like, oh, he fell though, or he doesn't, and he makes. You know what I mean? That's like something like that could be cool.
Yeah, and then the
really
next
cool.
step is to like sprint and jump and like try and land like halfway over it or something.
Oh, but he wasted too much stamina. He's got none left. He's got to jog. This guy was saving up his whole stamina for the end. Who's gonna win? You know what I mean? That do you know what I mean? That's when it starts to get interesting, and there's multiple layers to, multiple levels to, like, how your gameplay, like the who that like winning, right? It's not just, you know, you all just hold LT and A, and you just hope for the best, and like who picked the best route, basically. Because like after a while, right, you'll just, everything become meta. Like everyone will just start doing the same thing. It's like, okay, how do we differentiate players, right? But with stuff like that, with like different balancing things, different, like, everything's a different option. It's not necessarily meta because you always leave the opportunity for mistake, right? If it does it for you and you pick the same route and it pulls you into the balances and it pulls you into the thing, it's like, well, theoretically they should all just be the same, right? Or like really close to each other. But if you have way more control over how you do everything, and less is done for you, that's when you can actually differentiate who's better than who. Yeah. All right, cool. Stream. I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna go gym. Get up my lazy ass. Cool. Let's do this again. I'm gonna stream again later. I'm gonna continue refactoring this code and then fix the shaky of the capsules, and then hopefully then that has made some changes to the warping. We can work on the level some more. Sweet.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Good.